Sometimes you'll see a lifter who got really good results following a bad program. And when we look at this, it's easy to pull the genetics card. But upon further investigation, it becomes immediately clear that the reason why a lot of guys are getting jacked, running systems that are obviously not the best, has everything to do with consistency. This explains the original YouTube Fitness, how there wasn't as much information back then, though some of the top guys were probably equally as jacked as those of today, even though we have much more information. The secret lies in training for many years and not giving up. See, if you're program hopping, that's why I know you're not making gains. This is a common feature among novice lifters who look the same year after year. I actually knew a guy a long time ago. We would speak a lot for hours about fitness, and he knew what he was talking about. Yet, he was never able to commit to any program. This guy had an extreme case of it. Every month it was a new system. Hey Alex, check it out. What do you think? And I would look at him and be like, yeah, this is good. Run it. But then I would see him a few weeks later and he's on some other type of routine. And what happened is that he never allowed himself to go through the progression system of any of these programs. Let me say this, you could have the best system in the world, but if you're not going to commit to it, how can you expect to make any gains at all? Especially if it has an intelligent waving system. If you're manipulating percentages, volume, intensity, frequency, the exercise selection, if it requires that you follow certain steps and you're only doing it halfway through, well, how could you expect things to go your way? You're going to constantly go back or follow this roller coaster garbage, which I've talked a lot about in past videos. I'm not going to repeat right now. All right, so the message of today's video is very simple. You need to run a system that is suited for your psychology. I don't care if it's 80% as good compared to something that is objectively superior. Like even you yourself would know that's the case. If you're going to stay committed to it, ultimately you'll get better results than the better program. You need to get that winning mindset. You need to be consistent month after month, year after year, especially since the natural game is slow. And for me, that happens to be the conjugate system, concurrent periodization, the fact that I'm rotating exercise. It keeps my mind fresh and I'm constantly getting PRs in different ways. For you, it might be something else. Hell, it could be a bro split. I don't care what it is. I recently conducted a poll on my channel asking what the majority of you are running. And we saw that it was quite split. Some guys doing upper lower, push-pull legs, full body, even Bulgarian. But I bet that all of you are getting great gains because you're staying committed to that process. Now, if I were to do that same poll in a month from now and the results are completely different, then I'd be freaking worried. But knowing that most of you are actually intermediates, man, that is great news, by the way. It means we have a strong audience. It shows me that you're probably not doing this. But it's just to say. Also consider the fact that not everybody is trying to be the best of the best. That's what I want to instill in you, obviously. Fulfill your natural potential. And if you're here, you probably are trying to do that to a certain extent, but maybe not for every area. And perhaps running a system that is a little bit easier on your recovery, slightly less volume, something that's not going to take you as far, but still get mostly there, is the way to go. Again, I don't know what's going through your mind. I don't know what your objectives are. But what I do know is that if you stay on this path, whatever it may be, I am not here to judge what that is, you'll be much better off than if you try to copy some other guy or search for validation, because that is a major trap. Because sometimes too, you're committed to the program, but some other trend shows up. And now you deviate away from your own goals to fulfill some other guy's agenda who doesn't care about you. And that's when it becomes even harder to stay motivated. You start slacking on your sleep, your nutrition, you're not putting the required effort. Because up here, it doesn't sync, mind-body connection's not there. So when people say you gotta do what works for you, it's not just about the physical. The mental game is huge. And that's why I will make more videos talking about stuff like this. So anyway, there's not much to say. I want you to run a program that is effective. Doesn't have to be the best of the best. Make sure it has a proven track record or sound logic behind it and stay on it. If you find something better in a month from now, but your program is a 3-month waving protocol, then don't deviate away. Finish it and then move on if you have to. But don't start something if you're going to run away from the finish line. You make a commitment, you follow through, you reap what you sow. That's how it works. That's how you make the best gains year after year. And that's why there's some random guy out there who's far less informed than you that has a better physique. It's not his genetics. I would say that in many cases, we're all pretty average. It's the fact that he stayed committed year after year and eventually things balanced out. If it was going to take him 3 years to get that body, it took him 5 or 6. But guess what? He still got it You didn't because you chose to program hop. Makes sense, guys? Know what you want, go for 100%. Don't look back. You'll be very happy for it. And with that said, I got nothing more to say. Let me know what your experience has been with this topic. I would absolutely love to hear your stories about program hopping, or if you know anyone personally that's been through this, let's see in the comments section, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.